What's up, guys? Trevor Smith here. If you love movies, but don't have time to watch them all, don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's recap today's film. In the Heart of the Sea. That tells the story of a whaling crew stranded at sea, after a giant whale destroyed their ship, forcing them to fight for survival against nature and themselves. So, let's begin. In the year 1850, a famous writer arrives in a distant place, searching for a story. He goes to a house and knocks on the door, but the woman refuses to open at first, thinking that he's just a customer. The writer quickly explains that he's not a customer, he's a writer. Hearing this, the woman understands and lets him inside. He tells her that he has come to meet her husband. Her husband's name is Thomas, an old man with a rough and serious nature. But the moment the writer meets Thomas, things don't go well. Thomas becomes angry and starts insulting him. He questions why the writer has come all this way just to meet him. Still, the writer stays calm. He tells Thomas that he has come to hear his story, the real story. To convince him, the writer even offers all his money and places it right in front of him. He tells the writer to go and check the government history if he wants to know about it. But the writer insists. He doesn't want written records. He wants to hear the truth directly from Thomas. This makes Thomas even more angry, and he orders the writer to leave immediately. The writer feels disappointed and starts walking away. But just then Thomas's wife stops him. She apologized for her husband's behavior. She doesn't let the writer go and instead goes to Thomas herself, requesting him to finally share what really happened. After a moment of silence and hesitation, Thomas finally agrees. He calls the writer back, but with a serious warning. This is not a normal story, he says. It's a very sad one, something not everyone can handle. He admits that this incident changed his life completely. And with that, Thomas begins telling his story. The year is 1820, a time when the ocean wasn't dangerous, it was ruthless. Whale were hunted not for survival, but for profit. Whale oil was worth a fortune, and men risked their lives chasing it. Ships sailed into the unknown, and people even placed bets on which one would return. In this world, we meet Owen, a skillful, simple man living a quiet life with his wife. He works for a company that sends men into the sea to hunt whale. One day, Owen is called in. The company announces that their most expensive ship is about to sail, a voyage filled with opportunity and hidden danger. For a moment, Owen believes his time has come. The captain's position he was promised, finally within reach. But in an instant, everything changes. He is not made captain, only an officer. The promise is broken, the respect is gone. Owen feels the betrayal, but stays silent. The company breaks its promise to Owen and appoints George as captain instead. A decision clearly influenced by the fact that George is the owner's son. Still, they manipulate Owen with hope, promising him captaincy next time and increasing his salary. Trusting their words, Owen agrees to continue. As he prepares to depart, his wife grows emotional, making him to come back home safely. She gives him a locket, a symbol of that promise. Something to hold on to in the uncertain path ahead. Meanwhile, George, now captain, is also preparing for the hunt. His father stands beside him, urging him to succeed and return victorious. Soon, all the hunters gathers together and begins the journey. A crowd gathers in the city as a young boy named Thomas is introduced, the storyteller of events that become a memory. As a child, Thomas sets out his first sea journey for a hunt, accompanied by Owen and others aboard the ship. During the voyage, Owen crosses paths with Captain George. Tension builds between them, as George, the captain, expects authority, while Owen is forced to work under him despite his abilities. Soon, after their journey begins, the ship suddenly breaks down, leaving everyone stranded and uncertain. In this critical moment, Owen steps up and uses his experience to handle the situation skillfully, proving his capability, something Captain George clearly lacks. George, when he sees Owen's talent and ability, jealousy begins to grow inside him. George starts insulting Owen, calling him a poor farmer to mind his own business. Unable to tolerate the humiliation, Owen quietly walks away, choosing dignity over conflict. George continues to assert his authority, forcing Owen to obey his orders. But things take a dangerous turn when Owen spots a massive storm ahead. He warns George and urges him to turn the ship back. But George, blinded by ego, refuses and sails straight into the storm. The situation quickly becomes life-threatening. The ship is at risk, and everyone on board is in danger. Even in the chaos, Owen keeps insisting they turn back. But George remains stubborn. Somehow they survive the storm. But instead of acknowledging Owen's wisdom, George demands an apology from him. As they prepare to return home empty-handed, Owen steps up again. He explains that many lives depend on their success, as they cannot go back without achieving their goal. This time, George finally listens. So they continue their journey. Months later, they reach a region filled with whale. Seizing the opportunity, Owen leads the hunt and successfully captures one. The crew brings it abroad and begins extracting oil, marking the success of their dangerous journey and proving Owen's true worth. Now, they decide to send someone inside the whale. And because Thomas is small, Owen sends him in. They spend many days hunting but fail to catch anything, and their food starts running out. So, they stop at an island in the middle of the sea, where they meet a captain. The captain had also come there to hunt whale. Owen tells him about their journey, and the captain shares his own story. He says they once reached the middle of the sea, where they encountered the largest whale ever, the great whale. It was huge and powerful, and it attacked their ship, destroying it. The captain was badly injured, losing a hand and a leg, and his companions died. However, no one believes his story and thinks he is lying. So the captain leaves, but his story leaves a strong impact on them, and they decide to go to the place where the great whale lives.